Sandra, President Trump and Elon Musk targeting widespread fraud as Doge combs its way through various federal agencies. Some media members claim that Trump and Musk have no evidence of fraud, but even the Biden administration admitted that fraud was a massive problem. Let's bring in House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith to talk more about this. Give me a second, if you could, Mr. Chairman, because I just want to fully set this up and then get your response to it. So the left-leaning media coverage of Doge is, for the most part, pretty critical, including the New York Times, which on February the 11th in a headline said, at Oval Office, Musk makes broad claims of federal fraud without proof. Now, consider this GAO report from April 16th of last year during the Biden administration, which said GAO estimated total direct annual financial losses to the government from fraud to be between $233 billion and $521 billion based on data from fiscal years 2018 through 2022. And they put out this graph of the worst offenders. Nearly 24% of the Treasury Department budget is lost to waste, fraud, and abuse. So that would seem to stand in direct contrast with the way that the New York Times is presenting what Elon Musk is doing. Your thoughts about that?
Well, I'll tell you, the American people spoke loud and clear, 77 million people, in electing Donald Trump and making sure Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate. And the president campaigned on being disruptive and ending business as usual in Washington, D.C. And that's, in fact, what they're doing with Doge. They're looking at every aspect to make government more efficient for the American people that it's supposed to be working for, but also rooting out any fraud. For example, Doge has even highlighted examples of where Social Security numbers that are more than 150 years old are being utilized. That is fraud. So there's numerous examples out there, and we're going to continue to find more. And the American people are supportive of this. I wish my colleagues in the House were also supportive of it. But, John, what I would say is my same colleagues in the House who are opposing the actions of Doge are the same colleagues who voted to give the IRS $80 billion to target working families who send more than $600 through PayPal or Venmo.
Yeah. You know, some people might find it ironic that Democrats are out there trying to prevent access to the government department, the Treasury, that the Biden administration, or the GAO during the Biden administration, found is losing 24% of its funds to waste, fraud, and abuse. Trump now, he's been looking at various agencies. Now he's turning his sights toward the IRS. Listen to what he said about that in the Oval Office.
I think that the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else. Just about everybody's going to be looked at.
All right. That's something that I think probably falls into your wheelhouse because you have called for a complete overhaul of the IRS.
Absolutely. The IRS needs a complete overhaul. The IRS, by most Americans, is viewed as the most scary agency that they have to deal with within the entire United States government. So just yesterday, John, I sent a letter to the interim IRS commissioner highlighting numerous actions he should take in helping reform and clean up the IRS. I'm looking forward to Doge looking at every opportunity within the IRS to make sure that that agency turns into an agency that works for the people, not the people working for it.
And the Treasury Secretary, whose auspices the IRS falls under, says he has three goals with the IRS: collections, privacy, and customer service. But that's not stopping Democrats from cawing about all of this. Listen to what Senator Ron Wyden said on X. He said, quote, "My office is hearing that Doge is now at the IRS. That means Musk's henchmen are in a position to dig through a trove of data about every taxpayer in America. And if your refund is delayed, they could very well be the reason." So first of all, Democrats were screaming in the streets defending wasteful spending at USAID and other agencies. Now they're circling the wagons around the IRS. It's reinforcing, it seems to a lot of people, what critics have been saying about Democrats, that they didn't learn the lessons of November the 5th, and they continue to be completely out of touch with people in this country.
John, the Democrats are completely out of touch with the people in this country. The people in this country strongly support the IRS to be audited because the IRS audits every single American. Why shouldn't they also be held to that same standard? And that's, in fact, what the Trump administration is doing under the direction of Elon Musk.
All right. Mr. Chairman, thank you for being with us. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you, John.